Welcome back guys. So now we are going to learn about gradients in Illustrator. So in one of the previous tutorials we learned how to make this minimal fish. Let me zoom out a little. This was the fish we made. But in this tutorial we are going to learn how to apply gradients. Let me zoom in. If you don't remember, if you want to zoom in into the canvas, just press Ctrl or Command 0 on the keyboard. So I will delete this for now and let's learn about gradients. You can basically apply a gradient on anything. It could be a shape or even a text. So let's start with the shape. I will go over here and select one of the shapes. Let's select an ellipse and let's create a circle over here. So I have told this to you before. By default, every shape has a fill and a stroke. So let's apply a fill on it. Red. But if you go at the bottom over here, you will see none, fill, and a gradient. So instead of a color, I can apply a gradient on it. Let's click on this. You can see that it has applied a white to black gradient on the circle. So if you don't know what a gradient is basically a blend between two colors. So let me make it more clear for you. When we applied the gradient on this shape, a gradient panel automatically popped up over here. Let's click and drag it over here. So now if you click on it, you will see all the gradient panel options. So firstly we select the type of the gradient. So in simple there are basically three types of gradients: linear, radial, and freeform. For now we will only cover linear and radial. So as I have told you before, a gradient is basically a blend between two colors. So basically we have a white over here and a black. So if I want to change the color of this white over here, I will double click on it and swatches will open up. I can select red from here. So now we basically have a red to black gradient. I can also double click on black and let's select maybe orange. So this is a red to orange gradient. Then we can also set the direction of the gradient. So basically this is from left to right. And over here we also have a gradient tool. So if I click on it, you will see that it is showing me the actual gradient over here. I can also click over here and drag, and I can adjust the gradient accordingly. So basically I am adjusting the direction of it, and over here from the middle I can adjust which color I want more. So now we are getting more of orange. So this is same as this one. So I can adjust it from here too. I will bring in the red. So basically this is a linear gradient because it is in a single line. There is also an option for a radial gradient. If I click over here on the radial gradient, you will see that it is starting from the middle. So if I move the slider over here, you will see that we have more of red over here now. So let me just delete it and we will learn it with an example. Let's zoom out again and I will simply bring in this fish over here. Press Ctrl or Command 0 to zoom in into the canvas. So let's apply gradient on this now. Let's start from here and I will click on the linear gradient. Let me press Ctrl Z to undo it, and first let's make a copy of all of this. I will select all of this, press Alt and then drag to make a copy of it, and let's put a copy over here so that we could refer its colors. So now I will click over here, click on the gradient. So a linear gradient from white to black has been applied over here, and if I want to change the color of white one, I will click over here, click on the color picker and click over here. So a gradient from this color to black has been applied over here. Similarly, I can apply a gradient on all of these shapes. So I will click over here, apply a gradient on it, and I will copy color from this one and do the same for the rest of them. Select gradient, copy color and copy this color, and similarly with the last one. Now we can also select their directions. So I will select this one, click on the gradient panel, and I will click from top to bottom like so. Similarly for this one, I will click on the gradient panel and apply a gradient like this. So I guess this looks fine. So basically this is how you can apply a gradient on anything. You can also apply a gradient on text, but we will cover it later in the course. So I hope this was easy for you guys. See you guys in the next tutorial.